Hey guys, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. Okay, today I'm collabing with Audrey over at Oddly.Simple and we are sharing with you 5 delicious breakfast ideas in this edition of What's for Breakfast. Audrey is a mama just like me and we share a lot of the same passion for cooking and caring for our family. She also has a lot of other great content geared towards mamas like fun vlogs and cleaning inspiration. I highly encourage you to head on over to her channel after watching this video and let her know that Random-Ness sent you. Be sure to check out the description block below and I'll leave a link to her video and her channel. And remember, if you enjoyed my video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up because that really helps me out. And if you're interested in any of my other content, be sure that you're subscribed and that you click on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a video. And if you're new from Audrey's channel, thank you so much for stopping by and we're so glad that you're here. Now, let's dive right into my 5 favorite breakfasts. First on the list is cheesy tater tot casserole. Alright, hey guys, sorry you're getting real life here, look at me. But this is to show you this is really what I'm feeding my family for breakfast. I'm not just banging out 5 breakfasts in the same day. I'm going to show you guys the ingredients for a tater tot casserole. I'm going to try not to show Jamie without a shirt on. I know there's like a million different recipes. You can look on Pinterest, you can check them all out. This is just the way that I want to make it. I've made it with meat and sausage before. I'm not a huge fan of it. And reality, I don't have any right now anyway. So we're just going to do a straight up tater tot, cheese, eggs, and bake it in the oven and I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, here's everything that I'm gonna put. This is basically for the eggs, so just some black pepper. I'm not even gonna add salt because there's a lot of salt in the cheese, some garlic powder, and just some dried chives. If you had fresh chives, go ahead and use that. And I'm gonna use about 6 eggs because this is the size of dish I'm using. I'm not doing a huge 9x13 casserole because we just won't eat it all. So I'm gonna use this and it's about roughly maybe, I don't know, 1/4 cup of milk per egg or so, just to make sure that it's covered. And actually this is probably gonna be too much. I may only use 4 eggs. These are the tater tots that I bought at Walmart yesterday. They're just a great value brand. And I'm gonna go ahead and shred up some mozzarella and cheddar. And we're just using straight up, well, you know me, lactose-free milk. So let's go ahead and put this all together. All right, so I don't wanna waste anything. So I'm gonna do 4 eggs first. If I find that I need more, then I can always mix up a little tiny batch and add it. Now to the eggs, I just kind of do a 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense? I mean, you could probably do more. I guess it's how little or non-eggy you want it to be. And I'm gonna add some pepper to that mixture. We're big on pepper here. And some garlic powder, not crazy, literally like maybe 1/4 teaspoon. I have to be careful. I bought these big Costco ones and my God. Well, if you saw my last What's for Dinner, you'll understand. And I'm gonna use some of these dried chives. I'm gonna put it right in the egg mixture. Probably just like that. Like I'm not gonna go crazy because it's mostly the kids eating these. I just said I'm not gonna go crazy and I added 2 things of it. So just poke your eggs to break them before you start. Makes it easier. Might not be enough, but we're gonna try right now. So let's go ahead and shred our cheese. Okay, so there's my mozzarella and some cheddar. All right, so you can do this meticulously, line up your tater tots perfectly, or you can just throw them in. Let's be honest, I'm just gonna throw them in. Even though I'm a Virgo and I usually like things very specific, this is supposed to be something easy, right? That you can just do and serve your family and not stress. There. Bam. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of cheese to my egg mixture. Just a little bit of each like that. And dump it in. And then give it another good little whisk. Now, let's pour this over. Yeah, see, I almost have too much egg mixture. There. So now that you see this, you could probably do it with 3 eggs. And just like that. And I am gonna top it with some cheese. Okay. All right, so this is gonna bake at 350. And just keep an eye on it, but it could take half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how big or what you decided to put. Like if you decided to put meat or sausage or anything like that, I had to take my sweater off. It's way too hot in here. All right, so when that's done and I pull it out of the oven, you guys will see the final results. Okay, I just want to show you guys. So I just took it out and cut it open, and you'll see it's very much not done. So this probably takes a good hour to cook in the oven. So I'm gonna cover it because I don't want it to burn the cheese anymore, and I'm gonna throw it back in the oven for about another 30 minutes. All right, here it is, just out of the oven. I just sliced it a little bit to make sure that it was cooked, and I'll show you guys it's hot. You can see, I'm gonna cut up a slice and show you guys right now. All right, here's everybody's all dished up. I'm sure somebody's gonna want it with ketchup, but that's it, you guys. Super easy. I really recommend this one. It's so tasty. I mean, who doesn't like tater tots? Ah.
All right, next on the list was classic banana chocolate chip pancakes, which, by the way, are perfect for the freezer. Here is my rock griddle that I rave about all the time in my videos. I'm just using this Krusties mix from Costco, and I have 2 bananas, some vanilla, cinnamon, and mini chocolate chips. They really are better than the full size in a pancake. So the first step, obviously, is to go ahead and mash your bananas. Okay, now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and just make enough for what I know we're gonna need. You can just go ahead and follow the directions on whatever pancake mix you're using. Of course, you could make it from scratch if you'd like. This is just what's convenient for us. And the trick I would say about mixing your pancake batter is don't over mix it. It's the one instance when lumps are okay. Go ahead and dump in your bananas once your mixture has been combined, and then you're gonna go ahead and add just probably about a teaspoon of vanilla and maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. It really just varies on how much of those tastes you want to experience. Okay, now it is a non-stick griddle, but I like a little bit of oil when I'm making pancakes because I like that little bit of a crisp edge. Just go ahead and cook your pancakes as you normally would. Really, there's nothing special when making a banana pancake, it's just the flavor. For me, I like to add the chocolate chips once they're on the pan or the griddle, because if I put them in the batter, I find they tend to sink to the bottom. All right, you guys, here they are, absolutely delicious. The reason this is on my top 5 breakfasts is because this is like a freezer meal, and go ahead and check out my freezer meal video. I will link it below, and shows you how I freeze the pancakes to make sure that they don't stick together. But basically you just stick them in the toaster, even with the chocolate chips, and I swear they come out better the next day because they're a little bit crispier.
All right guys, sorry. So half of this video is going to be voiceover, some of it's going to be my face. So anyway, all I'm doing today is I am making some breakfast cookies for us to have in the morning. And I've made variations of these. I like to consider myself a cookie connoisseur. But basically, I've already combined all the ingredients. I will list every recipe down below. This is a specific Pinterest recipe. I'm gonna go through, show you everything that's ready that I've already got measured out. And the one thing I did want to say, it calls for 2 sticks of butter already softened. I'm not usually that well prepared. So here's the butter, and I found if you just cube it up like that and throw it in the microwave for 15 to 30 seconds, kind of 10-15 second increments, you can soften it with no issues. So I'm gonna pop that in the microwave and we're gonna go over what I have. All right, so I do find that a hand mixer is best, or if you have a stand mixer, even better, to cream together your sugar. That was my dog sneezing, you're welcome. To cream together your sugars and your butter. So that's the first step, so we'll do that in a second. So basically this is brown sugar, white sugar, the butter. These are my extracts with my eggs, and this is all the dry ingredients. And this is why I love MJ. This is why I love breakfast cookies, because it's basically everything but the kitchen sink. Coconut cranberries, or dried craisins, I guess. Chocolate chips, raisins. There's my flour mixture, which has some cinnamon and baking soda in it, coconut, and some rolled oats. So that's all good to go. I'll give that a little stir, but the first step here is we're gonna go ahead and combine or cream together the sugars and the butter. So let's do that. There you go. Next step is to add your eggs. Normally I would add them one at a time, so I'm just gonna flop one in, poke it with my mixer here so it breaks, so it's easier to mix. 30 seconds or so the egg is incorporated, and drop your other one in there too with all that extract. I like these cookies because they have vanilla and almond extract, so it smells amazing already, I'll tell you that. All right, so there's our delicious dry ingredients. I'm just gonna grab my whisk and kind of get it all incorporated together. With the flour mostly is what I'm worried about. All right, so you're gonna take that, you're gonna take your wet, and you're gonna stir it all together. So it is gonna be uber thick and chunky. That, there's not a doubt in my mind, just by looking at how much dry I have versus this little bowl of wet. So scoop it in. We're getting in there with our hands, because yeah. All right, I think we're good. I'll wash my hands. All right, I'm not gonna do anything fancy. This is a non-stick pan. I don't think I need to spray it. I don't think anything's gonna stick. There's enough going on in these cookies. So I'm taking a big ice cream scooper, and I'm just scooping them right on here. We read the recipe, and it does mention to use a small ice cream scoop, but we're gonna wing it because this is breakfast. I don't want a small cookie for breakfast, and I love great big cookies. So anytime I ever make cookies in the past, I always make great big ones, right? So I am gonna push them a little bit, because I'm worried they won't cook if they're too thick. Makes them look a little bit more rustic anyway when you kind of push them. It's like a smash burger. They're smash cookies. That's my name. That's what I'm gonna call them. Well, they're not my cookies. Anyway. All right, so let's take these. We got lots of batter left. If this don't work out, we'll know to make them smaller. Okay, so I'm watching them in the oven and they're really spreading out. So there's this one, and I'm gonna make the next ones with these ones. So we're gonna scoop these out right now. Ooh, they look really nice, actually. I'm kind of glad I made some really big ones. Ooh, it's heavy. Nice, they might have even been there a little bit too long, but so these are the other ones. We're gonna put these in a little bit smaller, and then I'll show you what they look like when everything's done. Okay, you can always tell when I decide to film spontaneously. Anyway, this isn't a beauty video, it's a how to make cookies and breakfast. So I'm gonna try a piece. Belle stole a piece of this cookie, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with you guys. Make these. Sorry. Oh my gosh, it's like coconut and walnuts, and the craisins and the raisins and the cinnamon. And I think I would put more chocolate chips next time. Very good.
The next breakfast was kind of a trending breakfast for a while, and these are overnight oats. I'm making maple and brown sugar. Here I just have some rolled oats, some plain thick yogurt, vanilla almond bries, and some vanilla extract. I'm also going to add some brown sugar, cinnamon, and some maple syrup. Now this maple syrup is a little extra special because it's from my family's land here in New Brunswick, and they made this themselves and gave us a bottle. Super, super proud. Also, there are a lot of healthy additives you can put in overnight oats: chia seeds, raisins, dried cranberries, hemp hearts, or milled flax seeds. You really want them that way because they're easier to process and are more beneficial. Today we're going with the chia seeds, so let's go ahead and show you how we put it all together. Now, just for ease, I'm putting this in a mason jar, but as you can see, it's not easy, and I probably should have got a funnel, but we're making it work until you see what I'm about to do with this almond milk. Completely missed. I really need to do a behind the scenes when I do these things so that you can see the mess that I make. Actually, all you need to do is follow my blogs because I'm usually showing you guys the disaster that is my real life. So like I mentioned, this is just a thick plain yogurt. It's the Icelandic style, I think. You could use Greek or you could omit this all together. I've often and more often than not made them with just plain 2% or lactose-free milk in my case, but just plain milk, no yogurt at all if you want it. I will say the yogurt makes it a little bit gummier and maybe a little bit more of a tartness in the background that you'll notice. So if you're planning to eat these cold, I would probably leave the yogurt out. If I heat them up, so that's why I went ahead and put that in. I'm just adding the vanilla, the cinnamon, and about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And don't worry, you guys, all of the recipes and ingredients and details of how to make everything that you've just seen will be listed in the description box below. And of course, what would maple and brown sugar oats be without maple syrup? I'm putting a good 3 tablespoons, and you'll see when I reheat them the next day, I'm going to add more. You can add as little or as many chia seeds as you'd like. I added a good pinch, so that was probably roughly 1 teaspoon. And I know it looks pretty, but you do have to combine everything so that it will set overnight and the oats will cook. I used quick oats here. I do prefer to use old-fashioned oats or even gluten-free oats because they have a little more substance and bite to them the next day. They don't disintegrate in all of your milk. Now, we actually use these mason jars mostly for drinking, so I couldn't find a lid anywhere, but don't fret. Aluminum foil will do just fine. Go ahead and set them in the fridge. I made these at about 7 o'clock at night, and I didn't eat them till about 11 o'clock the next day. So they can sit overnight as long as you need them to. Here it is, the magic of YouTube. They are ready to go. Now, I will say I did give it another try at eating them cold. Guys, I just can't do it. I just don't like it. You may love it. Some people love to eat these cold. It even smelled good. It looked amazing. And I'm thinking it's the texture of the yogurt. As you can see here, it kind of makes them gummy. But what I'm about to do is add a few drizzles of maple syrup. You'll see it's not real maple syrup, but I love Aunt Jemima syrup, so do not judge me. I'm gonna add a few good drizzles of that, and then I'm gonna put enough milk so it's just kind of sitting on the top of the oatmeal. Pop it into the microwave for 2 minutes and it is good to go. These tasted phenomenal. All I did was sprinkle a little brown sugar as soon as it came out of the microwave. These are not healthy by any means, but it is hearty and filling, and even my 9-year-old who refuses to eat anything enjoyed them. And in all honesty, it's a good substitution for cooking oatmeal on the stove. I know you can buy packets, but we all know they do not even come close to home cooked oatmeal. So this is the next best thing, in my opinion.
gonna be so good.
All right, so we're making French toast casserole, and this one is extra special because it has a streusel on top. These are some brioche buns that I had in the freezer that I'll chop up. If you had like sourdough or any other type of rugged bread, that would be ideal. Use any milk or cream that you like. I use lactose free, you guys know that. I also have some white granulated sugar, some butter, a little pinch of salt, some vanilla, cinnamon, and you're gonna need about 8 eggs for this one. It is a Pinterest recipe, which I will link it below. You're gonna need brown sugar, flour, and butter for the streusel, and this is all the ingredients you're gonna need to make the casserole.
It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself. You do the same and we'll be alright.
So all I've done here is combined the 2 cups of milk with the 8 eggs, and all I'm doing is kind of stabbing them with the whisk. It just makes it easier to combine and mix it all together. I'm also adding roughly 2 tablespoons of vanilla and about a tablespoon of cinnamon. I didn't really go too crazy on the measurements. I just kind of eyeballed what I know our family would prefer. For me, anytime I've made French toast casserole, I've always had success using brioche. It's just kind of a naturally sweet egg bread anyway, so to me it just pairs perfectly. All I did was chop these up, and then I'm kind of ripping them apart into more bite-sized pieces, but it doesn't matter too much because it's all going to meld together and you're going to slice it up anyway to serve it. Now go ahead and pour your egg mixture right over your bread. I believe that my pan is a little bit smaller than 9 by 13, so I found that I had just a little bit too much for an egg mixture, and it was still a slightly soggy on the bottom, still very edible, but it might be something to consider later on, maybe using a cookie sheet or something a little bit wider. I'm gonna go ahead and prep the streusel, which is just flour, brown sugar, and butter. I obviously always pick a bowl that is too small for the projects that I have, but I went ahead with a fork and then went ahead and tried to crumble it all together with my hands. Now with streusel, if you've seen, I just made blueberry muffins. They had streusel on it. This one, my hands were just too warm and the butter kind of melted a little bit. It still worked out really good, you guys. I just went ahead and kind of smeared it all over the top of the casserole. It does say in the recipe to save this for the next morning to add it to the top, but I was trying to see what would happen if I added it the night before so that when I woke up in the morning, it was no fuss. Throw it in the oven. I didn't have to do any additional steps, especially if this is something I want to do in the future for my family. If I know I'm going away, I could leave it for them and they can throw it in the oven with no steps involved. And you see right here, it was perfect. The streusel did not get compromised at all. Now, I did bake this at 350. I did take a full hour. It does say about 45 minutes in the recipe, and I ended up covering it with aluminum foil to prevent it from getting too dark. But look at this explosion of complete goodness. I can't even, obviously it settled a little bit after a little while, but I had to show you guys the initial cut when I first took it out. It's almost like one of those jiggly Japanese pancakes. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, you guys, the kids inhaled this. They especially love the top. If you want something sweet for breakfast, you know, like a Sunday brunch or Easter, I highly recommend this. And there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you got inspired with some ideas for some new breakfasts or even just some new desserts, because some of them were a little sweet. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you subscribed, and I hope I see you in my next video. Take care.